Hail and welcome to the Black Tower. I'm your host, your guide, your brother, the Sorcerer Armanasul. Today in my snazzy black fitted cap, I'm going to have a conversation with you about masks. We've been going over things, all things Necronomicon, the Aurelia, the magic of the Necronomicon, which is spell work used in the Necronomicon, so forth and so on. But today I wanted to discuss masks. What's their importance? What's their roles? What are they needed for? Well, to get a bit of an understanding about this, we have to think back to the world of shamanism. Now, in shamanism, they refer to masks as aspects or identities. Okay, so like in soul retrieval, so forth and so on, what they would be doing is the person in question would put on a mask, usually some kind of representative of a ghost or spirit or a power, so forth and so on. What it is and all that isn't really important. The aspect that I want to pull from this is the fact that every day in our lives we take up a mask. Whether I'm Waylon sitting here chilling in my home, out doing my thing, whether I'm on here on YouTube doing the whole The Sorcerer Armanasul, whether I'm playing the priest, going forth before the gods in reverence, whether I'm the Luciferian who is saying no to all the dogmas. But say the understanding that we need to take from the whole concept of masks and identities is the fact that there are all these identities within us. This can be a bit confusing and a bit overwhelming, but the simple of it works like this right here. Okay, so I'm Waylon. This is my physical face, of course, but the thing is that the personality behind it, that's what's so important. You have an egotistical Waylon. I refer to that most definitely as my ego. And there's nothing wrong with the ego. Egos are necessary for a true balance, but you have to give them space and you have to give them room. You have to know when to embody your ego and when to say, okay, I need you to just kind of relax and unwind and sit over there for a little bit. Anyway, without getting all sidetracked on all that, so further on, in the workings in the Necronomicon, you started off working with the older gods. Well, of course, you come before them as a priest, reverence and everything else. They teach you the order and so forth and so on. Later on, in Ganzir, the Aurelia text, where it takes over, you go in before the dark aspects, the subconscious beings, and so forth and so on. How exactly are you supposed to approach them? Well, with reverence is a good idea, but you don't want to leave it just there because, see, we're not trying to worship the image, okay? And that's really hard to explain if you don't understand what I'm talking about. An image can be anything. It can be, for sake of this video, masks. You take the original three watchers, Anu, Enki, and Lil, that were over the Trinity of the heavens and so forth and so on, the upright triangle. Those are masks of forces of powers. And then in the Aurelia text, you're going to be working with the three dark queens, the horned queens, Nemkarsag, Nenkazi, Ningazida. How are you supposed to approach these three? I would say with the exact same reverence that you did with Anu, Enki, and Enlil. But the lessons that these archetypes, that these powers have to teach us, isn't servitude and worship, but empowering. Okay, so there are a different kind of mask. You have some masks which benefit you in the whole of what you're trying to bring into your world, into your spiritual world, into your magical world, however you want to say that. And then you have things that you need to bring to life inside yourself. And this is where dark archetypes come in, because this is how we embody forces of change. Okay, now, without trying to confuse anybody, the elder gods being gods over the planetary forces of order itself, this is the order that is necessary. This is the solidity of Earth. But when you're delving into Ganzir and into the Aurelia, it is extremely important that you realize that these are more like watery beings. Okay? So the mind itself is like an ocean of sorts. It's like water. It's like a body of water. Sometimes it's calm and still. Sometimes it's placid as a lake, unmoving. Sometimes it's raging like the seas. It's when our mind is active, when it's just on fire, so forth and so on. Well, in this sense, this is the part where we're going to be working through the fluidity of magic itself. And this is where masks come in. Through the mask of Nenkarsag, Nenkazi, Ningazita, we are pulling from the depths of our very souls powers, forces of becoming, of authority, of rulership. Okay? Now, this is the part where if you had done the gate walkings, your ego has been cleansed and purified through the walking of the 7 gates. Now we have to empower the ego. After we have cleansed and purified it, we've become one with our ego. But now we have to strengthen our ego. We have to strengthen ourselves. We went through the washing off our shit monster, or whatever you want to call your ego. I don't know. I refer to mine as a shit monster because from the time I was a little kid and everybody telling me what to believe, how to believe, what's right, what's wrong, this, that, and the other. Well, my ego took on quite a bit of a load of shit. And so, when I think of my ego, I think of this big, huge, hulking, scary, stinky monster that isn't really a monster. And it's not really its fault. You think of your ego, your id, as your soul itself. Because, see, the soul is transmutable, transformable. It can be molded and made. And so it's important to understand that the mask of your ego or your id is actually a very crucial element to becoming. And so for this sake, you want to go through the 7 gate walkings because you want to cleanse and purify your ego, your identity, your true identity, secret identity, the one that has no form, that is formless. And hence, when we walk into Ganzir, we are walking into a formless form. And so it only goes to say that what we're going to be working on is how to empower and how to become stronger. Now, here at the Black Tower, I've said, we make gods. That's not exactly 100% true. Say, I, or anything else, makes a god. Okay? You are a god. All our workings, all our rites, all our rituals, all the exercises, everything that you do in your life is to remember. And the words used in the Necronomicon, kampa, and it means remember. You ever wondered why it's repeated 3 times? Because through constant over and over, you finally soak it in. So, kampa, kampa, kampa. Remember, remember, remember. Bring us into ascension. Remember. And the concept here is that we are reminding ourselves that we are not just this. This is the vehicle through which we move. But our intelligence, and I don't mean your reasoning and logic and illogic. I'm not talking about the left and right half hemispheres of the brain. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the light in your eyes. I'm talking about the spark in the core of your being. That is a God. Now, we like to, on this earth, we like to think of ourselves as this, that, and the other. Well, a very simple truth is the fact that we may be this, that, and the other, but we are things we haven't even comprehended yet. We are things we haven't even thought on, haven't even realized. And see, and realizing is the key word here. Because in realizing, we remember. We remember things that are lost, that are trapped within us. And so any working, any rite that you do, you see, it's not just to bring change to the outer world. See, it has to be in conformity. Your inner world and your outer world must change at the same time. The reason why this is so important is because this is the balance. This is form and force. This is order and chaos. And because we are of the breath of the elder gods, order, and blood of Kingu, chaos, we mingle these two. You know where else I have two of? The story of Enki inheriting his right to rule over the water. Do some research on Enki and Apsu and enjoy that. Lord, master of the water, waters of life, so forth and so on. You know, well, with that being said, let us get back to the concept of masks and how they're so important, why they're so important, and what we should be aware of. You know, in my own rituals and rites, before I ever get started, I say a small phrase. Now, I took this from a book on necromancy. It says, "It is that I am of pure heart and valiant soul that I do undertake these rites." That rang with me. That meant everything in the world to me because that's what I believe. At the core of my belief system, it is that I'm pure heart. Because I don't seek to know the mysteries, to become powerful and great and to lord over and rule. No. It's because like a little child that's just either loves you or doesn't love you. Well, I absolutely love these powers, these forces. I love everything about it. And so I'm of pure heart. Valiant soul. What is valiant? Valiant is more like fearless. But let us not think of I'm never afraid, or that something can't make me afraid. But in the sense that I choose consciously to set aside my fear and to go with it, to trust in it. See, as an occultist, as a magical practitioner, I have learned the order. I know how to cast circles, so forth and so on, the four directions, all this other stuff. And the Necronomicon, the rites that are set up. I understand the system. I've worked it. I've walked it. I've done it. I trust in my training. I trust in the skills I've picked up, that I've taken, that I've worked with. I understand the system. I don't have to sit there and think about how to cast a circle. I don't have to sit there and think about which directions are where and how to call them and all this, that, and the other. I've been doing this for over 20 years, so I've already got a really good idea. And if I don't know, I just do some research. And then I practice it to see if it's workable, to see if it works for me, see if I can do anything with it. Which 98% of the time I can. And the 2% of the time that I can't, it's because I can't resonate with it. I don't resonate with it. Now, this isn't because of biasness or being partial or anything like that, because I'm a pretty open-minded guy. No, it's just because I don't click with it. I don't shun it as being garbage, trash. I just say it's not for me, and that's fine. I'll leave it to somebody else that it is for. But going back into the symbolism of masks, masks are identities. They're not always necessarily like an over form, like, oh wow, I saw your face change, or anything like that. No. That's a whole nother story. That is a mask of sorts, but that's actually an inner working. Some of you may know what I'm talking about on that. And for those of you who don't, I apologize for not really going into detail on that right now. But the thing is that, when I go into ritual and before I ever start, it is that I'm of pure heart, valiant soul that I do undertake these rites. I then approach my practice, my ritual practice. I don't care if I'm lighting a candle, stick of incense. I don't care if I'm giving offering to the watcher. I don't care if I'm calling the three great ones. I don't care what I'm doing. I approach it with the same love and respect. I'm not going to be afraid of it. I'm going to seek to understand it and understand why I'm afraid. Because, see, fear is the door of transformation. Through facing our fears, we become stronger. And so getting back to the thing, so when I approach my rituals and stuff with reverence in my heart, with fearlessness in my steed, I step forth, do my workings, do my rituals, do my rites. I then put on this mask, this just aura of just worship and adoration unto a power that was here before me. It was here before I took flesh. And I'm like, oh, you've been here. You've been here. You've been guiding mankind. I don't care if they say that the gods are all in your head and that you've made them. You got to think even that is a mask. And this is why I wanted to make this video. This is why this is so important to me. And this is why I love magic. You can sit there all day long, and mankind, in his own way, sometimes is so egotistical that they think that they made the gods. You may have made the masks that the gods wear, but the gods themselves abide in a formless form. All mankind managed to do was to say, hey, I want to tap into this formlessness, and I want to be able to harness it, and tap into it, and to use it, and to work with it. So what did we create? We created a mask. If you think of nothing else but that you're human, but the human body is a mask. It is a mask covering over an intelligence. That's what we've done with the gods. That's why when they say magic is all in your head, or they say that, the gods are in your head, or that you create this, or that you create that, I agree and disagree. I agree with them. They are all in your head. You created the mask they wear. And those masks over time have been created into a sentient form. And they call these egregores, pulpas, so forth and so on, thought forms, servitors, what have you. But the thing is, and this is why I tried to delve as far back into ancient mythology and ancient history, into the old gods, into the old spirits, which is very hard to do, by the way, because, see, archaeologists have to discover it, report it, write about it, first to find out about it. And then some of us, if we're lucky enough, and we have the ability, excuse me, I'm having to shift a minute here. I fixed my earbud. Anyway, some of us, if we're lucky enough, we can commune with these gods, with these beings. Some of us can only commune with the ones that have masks. But here's a funny thing. If you don't believe me, try it. Try it for a year. Try it for 2 years. Keep notes, keep records of your own personal journey with the gods. See if they don't let their mask slip. See if they don't let it fall. See if they don't try to show you their real form, the true form, how they are formless, how they are just expansive. See? And that's what's inside you. That is what is inside each and every one of you, is this truly expansive being. Neither dark nor light, neither good nor evil, right nor wrong. You just are. In the Necronomicon, talks about, that the old ones will teach you new ways, where beyond good and evil, and they will teach you new ways to celebrate, to worship, kill, and all this other stuff, which I don't think that some of it I don't absolutely agree with, like the killing thing. What pleasure or joy is there in killing to a degree? I consider myself a serial killer. Insert the box of Kellogg's cornflakes. One bowl at a time, my brothers. One bowl at a time. I love me some cornflakes. See, that's humor. That's a sense of humor. So if that's the kind of killing they're talking about, hell yeah, I'm with them. You teach me how to enjoy cornflakes any more than I already do and the way I do it, hell yeah, I'm game for this. Now, maybe that's being silly. Maybe that's being, too whatever. But I'm not going to be overly dramatic about words and what they say and how they say it. I'm going to find out for myself what these gods are talking about, not what some man wrote, or woman for that matter, because I don't mean this in a sexist manner. I mean just humanity in general. You want to write a book, and you want to tell me that it's this way and that it's that way. Well, I say to hell with dogma. I do not abide by those rules. I don't abide by those belief systems, those structures. I can work with the gods of the Necronomicon, and I don't have to literally believe what it says in that book concerning them. Because how would I know those gods on a personal level if I had already screwed myself up in the head by believing what it says about them? Because then I'm not looking at them with unbiased eyes. Then I'm not looking at them with an open heart. then I'm not seeing the mystery behind the working. And see, and that's the importance of a mask, and that's what a mask is. See, a mask covers over. A mask covers over your true intentions. A mask covers over your true face, your true form, or formlessness. You know, everything from the hat I wear. Now, my hat to me is armor. Covers over my head. Is it strong enough to stop a bullet or anything? Hell no. But see, I imbue this thing to be impenetrable. No power, no thought, no force, invisible or hidden, can penetrate it. Because this is my armor. It's no different than putting on a bulletproof vest if you're a police officer. Or if you're a soldier. Oh, hoorah, you soldiers, you. See, I love humanity. I love this earth. I love being in this. I love being on here. Not because of some ego, not because of some imbalanced individual view. I have too much in here. I have too much in my heart. I can't write everything down. There's no way. I would spend my whole life writing. And I don't know if I could afford the pens and papers. I don't even know if I could afford the muscle rub to put on my wrist and hands and fingers from it. This goes back to where I was saying, do not let the knowledge die with you. You can't. You know how we've lost most of the history that we have? Most of the knowledge is lost. Because there was a time when people couldn't write. And then there was a time that people destroyed writings. Hell, they still do. Trying to destroy our history. Thankfully, in the digital world, our file might get erased, but somewhere, someone downloaded and saved it. And see, and this is how it lives. This is how it breathes. This is how it continues. You know, I do this because I love it. I love sharing what I know with others. I love voicing the beauty and the splendor in systems and in teachings. I have the heart of a poet and the soul of a philosopher. And very windy. That's why I try not to let these videos go too long. Because I go out there a bit. I really do. Not because I lose focus or control, but because there's so much there. And all I ever wanted to do was share the beauty of it. You know, this is me. I unmask myself for you. I unmask myself because I love you. I don't have to know you. I don't have to have a carnal knowledge of you to know you. Inside, I know we're all the same light. We're all the same. Deep inside, we are expansive beings, and this book covers us. And for that reason, masks are important. Because sometimes you have to put on a mask to protect yourself, to protect your heart, protect your mind. See, like my armor, protect my mind. Does it actually do anything? I don't know. I don't really care. I used to wear a hoodie, and I called it my bowl of cereal because it was solid white, and I pretended like there was a little Cheerio in the bowl. You ever had that one piece of cereal floating around in the bowl? That was me, all alone. Just sitting there by myself wondering why somebody hadn't ate me. It's okay. I forgave myself. I was cool being the Cheerio. I'm cool being my own person. I'm cool being my own self. I don't need anybody else to agree or to disagree or to, whatever. I'm not some great, mystical, great person. No God, men and gods. I'm my own God. I am my own being. I'm my own person. And I'm as real as I fucking get. I will pour my heart out. I will tell truths of myself. There's no shame. Because I am who I am. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not afraid of that. If you cannot be truthful with anyone. Be truthful with yourself. It's kind of like looking in a mirror. You can go outside your bedroom door, your house, or whatever. Go out in public, get online. You can do whatever you want to. And you can make pretend like you're this and you're that. And that's great and dandy. Go for it. Maybe you're at a stage in your life and your development where that's what you need. But don't get carried away and don't let the mask super glue itself to your face and you forget your true face. You can't be honest with anybody. Be honest with yourself about your weaknesses, your strengths, your shortcomings, all of it. But never give up. Never stop. I make a joke that, nothing can stop me. I'm just rocking and rolling through the universe. And I am. My heart is on fire. It is alive. My mind is aflame with a gnosis and understanding. Wisdom. Wisdom that did not come free. Wisdom that is not overnight. Took 20 years, 22 years. Well, in this case, actually, it took 39 years. That's how old I am. To get to be the person that I am. But 22 conscious years of working to become this guy. I'm just like anybody else. You would see me in the street, you'd pass me by, you wouldn't think anything about me. So maybe the way I walk, because I do walk with a limp. Something about having no hip kind of does that to you. But I am one of the most down-to-earth people you'll ever meet. I don't think I'm better than you. I don't care how much more I know that you don't know. Oh, I'll pour it out there. I'll share it with you. Free. If you cannot mimic anything, mimic your heart. And if you don't know your heart, seek it out. Search it out. Use the mask to find yourself. Figure it out. Say, but here's a little trick that they never tell you. Don't stick with one mask. Constantly allow it to shift. Have a new face, new face, new face, new face. Now the reason why is because you don't want it to get stuck being static. Being stasic, I believe is the word. Stand still like a placid lake. Let's say you don't feel good. Let's say you're just not having a good day. Put on a mask of knowing authority. By a mask, I'm talking about a mentality, mindset. Imagine that your thought, you're Tahuti, the Lord of Utterance, that you write the words of the gods upon your stylus, that you are a record keeper. And in this sense, that is order. Wearing that kind of a mask for a little while, whether it's an hour, 2 hours a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, to bring some semblance of order, of getting out of the slump that you're in. Do it. Think like that God. Act like that God. Be that God. But then let it go. Because the true God is formless. True God has no one face. True God is all faces. That is the only difference. Is our knowing and our understanding of these things, these forces, these powers. And with all that being said and done, I wish each and every single one of you peace and blessings. You are my brothers. You are my sisters. You are my dear friends. I wish nothing but life, nothing but love, fulfillment, happiness, joy, pleasure. Later, guys.